24 minutes past the hour, the last day of the week and the last day of the month. Good to see you. I'm Nerissa Knight with an update on the news you need to know. Well, for one, it's a new theory in the search for a missing plane. Getting your information stolen isn't just happening when you swipe your debit or credit cards at stores. You might be facing your own security breach in your very home. If you're looking for the perfect birthday gift, say, or maybe just a little surprise, Oliver's got something, and get ready because it's sure to bring out your kid's inner performer. Well, the results are in. Time Warner tops Ranker.com's list of companies with the worst customer service in the country. First Lady Michelle Obama was on hand to unveil the Food and Drug Administration's nutrition label makeover. It's a change aimed at helping you make better choices at the grocery store. But chocolate could be more than just something that's good for your sweet tooth. Soon it could be good for a whole lot of other parts of your body too. And which company tops the list of worst customer service? Plus, we'll reveal which crime cost Americans more than $1 billion last year. That's straight ahead in your Need to Know update. President Obama's newest effort is aimed at reducing the number of rapes and other sexual assaults in our country. The president is creating a White House task force to give colleges a set of best practices to address sexual assaults on campus and hold the institutions accountable for implementation. The new year started with an unwanted bang for a pair of Dallas women.
I was just so
Victoria Obamahinty and a friend were awaiting a stoplight in Dallas around midnight when a bullet pierced their windshield. Luckily, her passenger, Latrina Woods, was barely grazed in the shoulder, and officers let her keep that bullet as a reminder. While numbers for Dallas are not yet in, Fort Worth police responded to 257 random gunfire calls overnight. Well, one man was killed and another severely injured following an early morning fire in Fort Worth. Investigators say it appeared the men were trying to put out a fire that may have been started by a cigarette. Both were overcome. Jamie Vila died. David Macias tonight remains in critical condition in Parkland Hospital. Dallas police are trying to determine the best way to conduct photo lineups. So in the early part of this year, they'll be taking part in a study using what's called sequential blind lineups. Suspect photos will be shown one at a time by someone who doesn't know which picture is the suspect. When photos are viewed sequentially, experts say it's less likely the wrong person will be chosen. Misidentification has been a key factor in the vast majority of wrongful convictions nationwide overturned by DNA testing. Russian President Vladimir Putin received a standing ovation from his parliament as he, against listening to warnings from the U.S. and Europe, allowed Crimea to join Russia. And as you can imagine, the U.S. is not pleased. Vice President Joe Biden, who's in Europe discussing the situation with America's allies, says more sanctions are coming for Russia. And Secretary of State John Kerry says even though Russia does have interest in Ukraine, Putin is going about things all wrong. Just joining us now, either on KRLD on the radio or just tuning in at 3:30, about 40 minutes ago, the bubble collapsed at Valley Ranch while the Cowboys players were on the field practicing. 27 rookie players were on the field. This is raw video that just came in just after this collapse. Some of us are just getting a chance to see this, as you are. We understand that 27 rookie players, as well as the coaching and scouting staff, as well as other support Cowboys staff and some media, including our CBS 11 news team, was inside the Valley Ranch practice facility when the bubble collapsed on everyone. Before it collapsed, the lights we were told and saw from our video were swinging. The wind was blowing the facility. Larry Mowry said that there were 60 to 65 mile per hour winds that were coming through. Here you can see the Cowboys rescuing each other, pulling each other from under the rubble. Those who were somewhat trapped. We understand that some people were trapped after this, and rescue crews had to free them. There were also injuries. There were 58 injuries that we know of at this time, which include 4 staff members, 2 of whom Steve Dennis saw on the scene. One was Brent Maxey, who is a defensive coordinator who had a deep gash to his right leg. Also, we understand that a videographer was injured. There were also wives and family members and friends that were showing up to the practice facility, like Chris Hall's wife, who came, and Steve Dennis saw her calling for help and wanting to know if he was okay because she hadn't heard from him.
He can now come home and play with his toys. A 16-month-old and his family are thankful that a carjacking didn't take a turn toward tragedy. By the way, the child's mother is pregnant and expecting a baby any day now. She's also expecting for police to call her, hoping that they'll say they've caught the suspect. Anyone with information is asked to call Fort Worth Police. Live in Halton City, Nerissa Knight, CBS 11 News. Imagine being born in the U.S., living here all your life, then driving down the street and being arrested and jailed for a suspicion of being an illegal immigrant.
The train has been removed and several of the derailed cars have been upright and loaded onto the big rig wreckers. You can see the work continues behind me here. It's a much more controlled situation than the fluid bustle immediately following the derailment, when many witnesses say they were stunned with disbelief.
Real Al, we parents sometimes don't know what to do, but Yvonne, who's a nutrition expert, the kids sometimes, they always know what to do. They know what they want. They're reaching for everything. What do we parents need to do?
Well, I think the reason the kids go for certain cereals, look how colourful and bright this is.
Rainbow of flavors.
Red Flintstone on the front, all of that. So that's why the kids go for these cereals, because they're heavily marketed and they look bright and gorgeous.
What should we parents be doing? What should we buy?
You can make some really good swaps. So for example, one serving of this cereal is equivalent to 4 servings of this cereal. So you can have 4 times as much of this.
4 bowls versus 1.
1 bowl, absolutely.
The golden ticket. Today's Hollywood flashback is Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Lickable wallpaper was just one of his many magical creations. But stuff like that only exists in the movies, right? Or does it? Speaking of, for the last 3 weeks, Happy by Pharrell has topped the Billboard charts, and now our favorite a cappella group, Pentatonics, has put their own spin on it. Grab your green and break out your river dance. It's St. Patty's Day. Always glad to see you with us here on Eye Opener. And hey, we've been asking to see your St. Patty's Day spirit too, and guess what? We've got a winner. It's pretty obvious we love our pets when we have days like National Puppy Day or National Cat Day, but to find out just how much our viewers love their furry friends, Vita Loca took to the streets to ask her toughest pet questions.
It's like asking us, you know, who do you like spending your morning with?
Eye Opener.
No, you know. This is just going in all the wrong directions.
It is. Oh, did you read the story